Alright, what's going on everybody, it's Sam from MMA. In this video I'll be doing my predictions for the prelims on UFC Fight Night Holloway versus Rodriguez. If you're seeing this video from Patreon, thank you very much for your support, I appreciate that. If you're seeing this from YouTube, I released this after the event in respect to my patrons. So I changed a little bit things recently. If you wish to hear the breakdowns and all the picks, the prop bets and the lock of the night and top 2 parlay discussion, this is part exclusive of the Patreon from $10 tier. And then I also have the Patreon $50 tiers that I'll show you guys in the end of the video. So stick around if you wish to support the channel and see the benefits for you being a patron of this channel. Alright, so I'll run real quick through all the picks and the bets, then I'm gonna be breaking this down on the prelims. The breakdowns of the main card I have already done on a previous video, so feel free to take a look in the description and take a look at that to hear the breakdowns on the main card. Alright, so between Courtney Casey and Liana Jojo, I'm picking Casey but not betting the fight. Zhang versus Kennedy and Zetchuku, I'm picking Zhang but not betting. Song Yadong versus Julio Arce, I'm picking and betting Arce. Max Holloway and Yair Rodriguez, I'm picking Holloway but not betting. Ben Rothwell versus Marcos de Lima, I'm picking Rothwell but not betting. Felicia Spencer versus Leah Letson, I'm picking Spencer but not betting. Thiago Moises versus Joe Alvarez, I'm picking Moises but not betting. Andrea Lee versus Tiakovio, I'm picking Lee and not betting the fight. Miguel Beza versus Chaos Williams, I'm picking betting Williams. Kyle Dawkins versus Roman Dolidze, I'm picking betting Dawkins. When I'm saying I'm not betting, I'm saying straight or parlaying, but I do have props on most of these fights and I'll show you guys soon. Alright, so let's get down to the prelims. Sorry about the noise, guys, there. I live in a loud avenue. So between Zhang and Kennedy and Zetchuku, this is a rather interesting fight. It's not easy to predict, guys. They are both big guys for the division, you know, 6'4" for Zhang and Zetchuku, I think he's 6'5". And Zetchuku is extremely tough, you know, this guy gets pounded by, you know, big guys as he did against Carlos Oberg. The guy survives and he keeps pushing, he keeps on going, moving forward, you know, not much technique, but again, so tough, so big for the division and keeps coming. I can say quite similar things about Zhang, even though Zhang is a little bit more technical, he doesn't risk that much. He likes to fight, he likes to throw power punches, but more setting up behind the jab, using 1-2 corralling opponent, and then avoiding the big shots and coming back. It's a clash of styles, guys. It's difficult to pick a side because it's I think both of them gonna have their moments in their fight. I see both of these guys being super tough, especially in Zetchuku that proved that repeatedly. I think we're gonna see this going the distance, and that's a prop bet that I have. I'll show you guys afterwards. I think this go the distance, guy. This is probably the best bet here because I was tempted to bet either of these guys by decision, but it doesn't make much sense because it could be a split decision, and I like the lines on the decision prop, which is minus 110. So that's what I'm gonna do in this fight. I'm not gonna pick a side. Actually, I'm picking Zhang, right? But I'm not gonna be betting Zhang here. I'm gonna be betting fight go the distance. Courtney Casey versus Liana Jojo. Another interesting fight. This is another one of those fights that it's quite tricky because Casey should be the favorite, but she has some problems on her game. She's fighting as a flyweight here. She's not a small girl, but she's neither the biggest flyweight. Neither is Jojo, you know. And Jojo, this girl, at least from what I've seen on footage, she's still a little bit green, even though she's quite tough, you know. She's under a good camp. She's young. So this is tricky because Casey, I think she's probably 35 or 34 now, which is no longer at the physical prime. She also has an even record, which shows you that she has some holes, you know, and the holes in her game are she doesn't have that much power. She doesn't quite set up much her striking, you know, especially when she has to worry about the takedowns, and it's gonna be the same in this matchup. I think we're gonna see Jojo being able to make fairly competitive on the feet because even though Casey a little bit taller, has a little bit of range on her, it's not that much, you know. And Casey's, again, she's quite sharp, you know, she's not bad striking, but not that much power. I don't think that she's gonna earn Jojo's respect too much. You know, if Jojo are gonna sit and respect her, she's definitely gonna lose a decision, you know, clear decision. But I think Jojo are gonna try to push the pace. She's a little bit with the back behind her back. How's the expression again? Her back to the wall, something like this. So I think she's gonna try to push, and she's tough. And again, And Casey from her back, she's good, she's technical, she's dangerous, but against a good grappler, she can sit a little bit too long on her back and end up losing a decision, trying to set up arm bars and stuff and not being able to. Could happen Diaz, so it's quite tricky, guys. I end up getting a prop bet on Jojo by decision. I'm gonna be showing you guys, so it's quite tricky to bet. I was tempted to parlay Casey, I gave up on that. Let's see how this goes, and I'll stick with Jojo by decision on a prop bet, small bet. Miguel Beza versus Kaylin Williams. So this is another interesting fight. Two big guys for the division, hard hitters, especially Chaos Williams, which is has one of those guys that it takes only one. This guy, he's at his best when he can wait on the outside and then explode, put guys out, or earn their respect and win a decision. That's what he did on his wins. Miguel Bay is a little bit more technical, crisper on the feet. Also does a little bit better job of setting up takedowns, even though Baeza is not the wrestler. This is another tricky fight to bet. I'm favoring Williams here. I think he's gonna win by knockout because Baeza, he likes to stand the ground and hit hard. He likes, and once he starts trading with guys, he can also get caught, and he doesn't react too well getting caught. He kind of shells up and allows guys to tee off on him, which is gonna be extremely dangerous against Chaos Williams. Chaos also fighting a little bit better, being more patient now. He used to be only an explosive guy that guessed if he didn't put the opponent out. But he learned a little bit how to pace himself. His style obviously is still throwing power punches and bursting. But still, he learned a little bit how to pace, and could be just the difference here. If Baeza start trying to tee off on him, I think eventually Williams gonna land a big shot, and if he doesn't put Baeza out, he's probably gonna win the round. So that's why I'm going Chaos here. But it's nearly a pick and fight. I have Chaos as a small favorite here, so the odds are a little bit flipped, in my opinion. So that's why it makes sense to have a small bet on Williams. I'm doing that, but not that confident here, right? Andrea Lee versus Cynthia Calvillo. Another interesting fight. Tough to call, tough to bet. Lee, she's a good striker, likes to set up her combos, especially with the boxing. She uses some kicks, but she's way better with the boxing than with the kicking. Likes to move the heads, use angles, hit the opponent, then take it to the ground. She's at her best when she can be offensive. Quite similar to Calvillo, even though Calvillo is a little bit faster than Andrea Lee. She has a better jab, which could be interesting in this fight. She also has a good one too. Even though Calvillo is not the most active on the feet, I would like her picking up her volume to be able to make it more competitive. And the Calvillo is a better wrestler here. I think people are betting her because of that. Because Lee, from her back, she's good, but it's quite similar what I've said about Courtney Case. She can set up submissions, but if she fights another good grappler, she can stuck on her back and end up losing a decision. I think that's why people are, again, betting Calvillo there, but I think Andrea Lee has a little bit more chances, just because I think she's going to be more active on the feet. She doesn't have a bad takedown defense. I think she's going to fight smart here. She has to get back up and make a striking match, whereas Calvillo has to make a grappling match from top. So I think we'll see Lee fighting smart. I have her as a small favorite, so I think the odds have now flipped. I see that Calvillo now is the favorite, so to me it makes some sense to bet Lee, and I'm betting her in a decision prop. By decision, like I told you guys here, I would bet either of these girls by decision from plus 200. I got Lee by decision plus 200, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I expect a very close fight here. I could be wrong, Calvillo dominating from top and just out-wrestling her, but I don't think it doesn't look like Calvillo gonna really put too much the foot on the gas tank type of thing. Andrea Lee is also a little bit bigger, so I think Calvillo not gonna be gun shy, but she's gonna try to be smart, which gonna probably render a close fight. Alright, so my pick here and my bet is Lee by decision. Danilo Marques versus Jaito Almeida has been cancelled. Then we have Felipe Lins OSP has been cancelled as well. Thiago Moises versus Joe Alvarez, very good fight. I'm curious for this one. I think Moises is gonna fight smart here, guys. He proved that he can be a wrestler. He tried to out-wrestle. What's the name of the guy again? Just forgot, guys. Just got a blank. So he tried to out-wrestle. Like, my God. Okay, so I tried to out-wrestle that Russian wrestler who's on the top of the division now, you know, and it was pretty interesting to see that because he nearly did it, you know. It was very interesting. He kept a solid takedown game, tried to do the right thing. He was not able to. Islam Makhachev, okay, Islam Makhachev. He tried to out-wrestle Islam Makhachev. Of course, nearly impossible to out-wrestle that guy, but he did a good job in trying. And if he does the same to Joel, he's gonna take top position. Joel gonna try to submit him, not gonna be able, and gonna lose a clear decision. Thiago by decision is a good bet. Actually, you know, I think I saw that at minus 130. I kind of overlooked it, but as I'm talking, maybe it makes sense, you know, because I don't think Joel Alvarez could win a decision. You know, I put it here that I would bet him from plus 250 by this 350 by decision. The line is there, but then I thought again, I think I'm gonna be sticking with Moises. I'm gonna take a look at Moises by decision. I think actually I'm not too much interest there because I could see Moises finishing Alvarez by a submission or something, even though not likely. So let me take a look in that odd again to decide if I'm gonna throw a small bet on Moises by decision. But that's my quite strong pick. Kyle Docas versus Roman Dolidze, another interesting one. Docas should be able to implement this game plan. You know, this guy proved his toughness. I was a little bit worried. I know this isn't the main card, guys. I'm sorry. I talked about this before, so this is already in the other predictions. And from there we have the main card. That's right. So guys, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Let me show you, so guys, the props that I took for this card. I'm hiding one column here, column D, as in respect to my USD $50 tier Patreon. If you like to jump in on that tier, you have line by line all the bets that I'm taking here. I'm also filtering only the props, so you have all parlays, all single bets that I'm taking, including future cards. So just to tell you guys, I like Mizochiko and Zhang go the distance. Like I said, you know, this is one of my biggest prop. Jojo by decision. Something can happen that she, like I told you guys, probably gonna be competitive on the feet. I'm curious to see if Jojo gonna try to out wrestle Casey, which I think she will. Casey has a little bit more chances for the armbar, you know, or for the submission as a finish. That's why to me makes sense to bet Jojo by decision, especially at plus 450. Calling angling by decision. I don't remember breaking this down. Let me see what happened here. Okay, I think I forgot to put this slide here. So calling angling, just real quick, guys. Calling angling versus Sean Woodson. Woodson has all the range, the height and the reach, the technical striking, super dangerous, especially with the flying knees. Calling angling, very tough guy. Can be hit, can be hurt, but he doesn't care. He will try to out wrestle. He'll try to stay in Sean Woodson's face and gonna try to hammer him to the ground and crack hard. I think Woodson is a tough guy. You know, not I think he is a tough guy. He's not gonna be able to, not gonna be easy to finish him. And again, calling angling will try. Plus 500, guys, to me makes sense to bet angling by decision. That's why I have a small bet on him. Andrade by decision, I told you guys in the predictions. That's my pick. I think she's gonna be able to stuff some takedowns, or those that she can't. I think she gets back up and makes better on the stand-up. Julio Arce by decision, because Yadong's a very tough guy, super tough to finish, and Arce has the range here. He's an experienced fighter himself. I think he wins by decision plus 300. Very good bet in my opinion. Let's by decision. Quite tricky one because Spencer should be able to dominate from top, but I'm curious to see if Letson gonna be able to keep it standing. So I'm taking a long shot. I could put this comment here that this is a little bit of a long shot, but a tiny bet here makes sense to me. Rogerio de Lima by decision. Also, it's an interesting one in my opinion, guys. Not gonna be easy to finish Rothwell. Rothwell could guess. We could see de Lima from top. The best bet to me here, definitely Rogerio de Lima by decision because of the price. All right, plus 450 makes sense. So I like this one in a medium range. Discussing on the prop bets. So guys, I left for the end. Actually, I could have done in the beginning the lock of the night and top 2 parlay discussion. Again, this is I'm not recommending anything, just the way I'm doing things. So I put 2 options here as usual. I put Docas at minus 220 here as, like, say, the strongest pick. You can I could also, you know, add Thiago Moises here. Not as much as Docas, you know, but just to make it maybe a little bit more interesting. Let's go like say 60. 60 and 40 here between the proportions of the two, then I would have to fix this. So I think I like this a little bit better because it gives me a little bit more diversification, which I like it, you know. So which also have also to fix here. So guys, I think Docas is probably the strongest pick here. A little bit tricky because this guy is coming from 2 consecutive losses and a disappointing finish on the last one, even though he was able to make it Kevin Holland's life miserable. This guy should be a strong favorite, but there is that, you know. So it's not the same 100 that I discussed when I bet Chimaev or when I bet Cyril Gane, these other fights, you know. So like the last card is not the same 100, but you know, putting $100 discussion, Docas and Moises 60-40. I think they both will cash. You can obviously parlay them with the other guys. All right. So just a thought here. And the more diversified approach, which is I things that I take in general. You know, let's go like just making this real quick with you guys as I added Thiago Moises here now. So the option number 2, which makes a little bit more sense in a more diversified approach, that's what I like to try to have a little bit more profit and arguably reducing the risk. So Docas, a little bit stronger pick than we would Moises. Could parlay them too, you know, and throw a round robin with all of them. Then I put the RC. I like RC a little bit, and Chaos Williams for the upset, which makes some sense in my opinion. So I put all of this going like 60 out of the 140 dollars or 40 units here based on the 100 risk on the props. You know, I think the props for this card are pretty interesting. You know, these are pretty interesting props. I expect at least, how many we have here? We have 7. I expect at least 3 or 4 cashing, you know, which would render you a very good profit because look at the lines that I'm taking. Obviously I could be wrong. Props are a little bit tricky. It's not easy to convert most of them, but for this case I think there are good dogs here to cash. This one I like a little bit. I think this cashes is a sort of favorite prop, let's put it this way, you know. And the rest I think it's a little bit mixed in there. Angling not so easy, but could cash. Andrea Lee also. Split decision here also quite tricky, but again I think from all of these at least 3, you know, with cash. I'm expecting that. Obviously it could be wrong, could be everything wrong, but let's see. And so that's why I like a little bit the using at least out of 140 for this props, because I think they're gonna cash nicely. All right. So guys, I hope you guys like this video. If you like, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. So Patreon, $10, your benefits. You can have the early releases for future cards. I'm still trying to put as early as possible. Not always I am, but again, predictions on the prelims, lock of the night, top 2 parlay, wrap up of the discussions and all the bets, all prop bets in here. $50 tiers. You guys have access to this spreadsheet. Can just check it out yourself, filter, go through the color code, which probably you guys know what it means. If you don't, there's a video that I'm explaining that too. And line by line, all the bets that I'm taking, feel free to do whatever you want with that. All right. So that's it for me. I hope you guys liked, and I'll talk to you next time. This is Sam from Zero Other Bet, bring the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.